Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to officially call this public meeting of the Mayor and Council to order. At this time, I would ask everyone to please rise for a moment of silent prayer and or reflection. As this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I'll be reading the proclamation in a few moments, but I think we should devote our thoughts and prayers to people with cancer. Everyone here knows someone or family member or relative that has been affected. Please salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please note the fire exits to your rear into the main parking lot, to my left, your right, to the main hallway. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and attend any meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this act, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Milford have caused a notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Borough Hall, and notices have been sent to the record and the Ridgewood News. The mission of this governing body is to provide essential services through the establishment and implementation of public policy that will safeguard infrastructure, provide fair, honest, courteous, and professional services, establish a sense of trust and accomplishment between all residents, and through research and prudent planning seek to minimize risk while improving our services. We are sensitive to the needs and satisfaction of our taxpayers, while realizing that this governing body cannot be all things to all people, within the revenue constraints imposed by state mandates, economic conditions, and prevailing attitudes about taxation. At this time, I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Van Usen.
Here.
Councilman Zellner.
Here.
Council President Duffy.
Here.
Councilman Grotzky.
Here.
Councilman Seymour.
Here.
Councilwoman Grant.
Here.
Mayor Petrino.
Here. Okay, the first order of business tonight is appointments. May I get a motion to appoint Matthew Pierce, Thelma Lyra Kerr, and Liz Barbosa to the Green Team?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I get a motion to appoint Thelma Lyra Kerr to the Arts Committee?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you very much, residents, for chipping in and helping out. Next is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month proclamation. Whereas October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, when we reflect on the trends in breast cancer research, prevention, and treatment. And whereas, according to the National Cancer Institute, more than 315,000 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and more than 42,000 will die of the disease in 2025. Whereas breast cancer is the most common type of non-skin cancer in women in the United States, accounting for 30% of all new female cancers, and is second only to lung cancer as a cause of cancer death in American women. Whereas being female and older in age are the main risk factors for breast cancers, and whereas regular screening and early detection, followed by timely treatment upon diagnosis, can significantly improve a patient's chance of survival. Whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to honor the courage and strength of all who are battling this terrible disease, and remember loved ones whose lives have been affected by breast cancer, and to commend the skilled medical professionals and dedicated researchers who provide quality treatment and care to women and men across the country. And whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to unite all citizens in our community to prevent breast cancer deaths through increased education and regular screenings. Now therefore I, Mayor Michael Petrino, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in New Milford. Those are some staggering numbers, huh? Okay. Under unfinished business, may I get a motion for the approval of the minutes of the September 8th, 2025 public session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have a couple of ordinance adoptions tonight. First one being 2025:26, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I'd ask her to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Property Maintenance, to add Section 12-6 entitled Bamboo, to regulate the planting and removal of running bamboo within the Borough of New Milford.
The purpose of this ordinance is to establish regulations to preserve and protect private and public property from the damaging spread of running bamboo grasses and to protect indigenous plants and the wildlife they support from this invasive spread of such bamboo from any neighboring property line. May I get a motion to open to the public for a public hearing on this ordinance?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, if anyone has any questions or comments regarding this ordinance, we invite you to come up at this time. Seeing that no member of the public wishes to comment on this ordinance, may I get a motion? Oh. This is only about bamboo. Yeah, at the end, it'll be whatever, but this is for bamboo. So no bamboo. We're good? Okay. Making a motion to close to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I get a motion to adopt this ordinance on its final reading?
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Sanusin.
Yes.
Councilman Zallner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes.
Okay. The next one up for adoption tonight is 2025:27, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I'd ask you to please read the ordinance.
Capital Ordinance of the Borough of New Milford in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, authorizing the acquisition of various equipment for the use of the fire department in, by, and for the borough, appropriating therefore the sum of $10,200, and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the capital improvement fund of the borough.
The purpose of this ordinance is to appropriate $10,200 from the Borough of New Milford's Capital Improvement Fund for the acquisition of various equipment for the New Milford Fire Department. May I get a motion to open to the public for a public hearing on this ordinance? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, if anyone has any questions or comments regarding this ordinance, we invite you to come up at this time. Seeing that no member of the public wishes to comment at this time, I would ask for a motion to close to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I get a motion to adopt this ordinance on its final reading?
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Sanusin.
Yes.
Councilman Zallner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky. Yes. Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes.
Okay, the last one up for adoption tonight is 2025:28, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I would ask her to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance amending Chapter 18 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Streets and Sidewalks, thereby amending Sections 18-1 entitled Excavations and Streets, 18-2 entitled Opening, Grading, and Improvements, 18-4 entitled Construction of Concrete Curbs, Sidewalks, and Driveways, and 18-7 entitled Portable Storage Containers and Similar Storage Devices in Residential Zones.
The purpose of this ordinance is to update the position titles referenced in the ordinance to reflect current procedure, to modify the contractor registration requirements, to clarify curb, driveway, and apron requirements, and provide for the renewal of portable storage container permits. May I get a motion to open to the public for a public hearing on this ordinance?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, if anyone has any questions or comments regarding this ordinance, we invite you to come up at this time. Seeing that no member of the public wishes to comment at this time, ask for a motion to close to the public.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I get a motion to adopt this ordinance on its final reading?
Motion. Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Sanusin.
Yes.
Councilman Zallner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes.
Under new business, we have an introduction tonight, 2025:29, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I would ask her to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance amending Chapter 7 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Traffic, thereby amending Section 7-3.7 entitled Stopping or Standing Prohibited During Certain Hours on Certain Streets.
The purpose of this ordinance is to prohibit stopping or standing on both sides of Robert Chester Way, Columbia Street, and Patrolman Raywood's Lane at Kennedy Field Complex due to the safety concerns as recommended by the traffic officer of the New Milford Police Department. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
Motion. Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Sandhusen.
Yes.
Councilman Zalner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
The public hearing for this ordinance will be at our October 15th meeting. Next door,
Yes.
in the conference room. Okay. Still under new business, item number 1 is NJDEP Regional Resiliency Grant. Councilwoman Sanders.
Thank you, Mayor. So everyone, I've included a little follow-along sheet that describes the benefits of participating in the NJDEP Regional Resiliency Planning Grant. So this is a grant. I'm bringing this to Mayor and Council because Hackensack and Teaneck are interested in applying for this grant. How this grant is applied for is in self-selected regional zones, and they need a minimum of 3 contiguous municipalities. So New Milford would fit right in along with Teaneck and Hackensack. So I would like to encourage the Mayor and Council to agree to participating, to apply for this grant. What this does is, with the regional teams, the teams are going to be, there's going to be 6 total awards given out at this award cycle, and it'll be $200 to $300 per region. That is going to be shared across the municipalities and with the CBO, which is a community-based organization. So Northern New Jersey Community Foundation is going to be the lead applicant. They're going to be the prime applicant for this grant. So that means that New Milford does not have to do any of the grant management. We get to go along and be at the table for the planning part. So part of what this grant helps us do is we have regional collaboration to address the shared risks across watersheds, shorelines, and infrastructure systems. So that's basically, it's addressing flooding, stormwater management, wildfires. I know we're in cities, people are kind of curious about wildfires, but it is actually getting more common for wildfires in cities, and communities are affected more by smoke from more regional areas. So that's something to consider. So what we are able to receive with that is that we will be working with a planning, let's see, what is it called? So we'll be working with planning professionals, a team that is pre-selected and pre-qualified by the NJDEP. So this is a cost savings in itself, because this regional resiliency planning is something that every municipality is going to have to include into their master plan eventually anyway. So this is a good time to join this partnership because Hackensack and Teaneck are interested and eager, and we have a community-based organization. One of the things that I really appreciate about this grant is that there's going to be opportunity to do a lot of community outreach, and that's one of the reasons why they're having community partners. There's going to be a lot of community engagement. The other thing that is also beneficial is that New Milford's been proactive in flood management with the CRS program and doing those kind of things. So I think what we will be able to do is to have the opportunity to document what we've already done and build on opportunities. So we have a lot of Blue Acres properties down along Columbia and throughout the municipality that, this planning grant working, there might be some innovative opportunities. Hoboken did this planning grant. They did this regional plan, and they've created their waterfront park, and they've got a lot of infrastructure that they've built in and will be continuing to build on. So participating in this gives us shared services and cost savings. And also, we have an opportunity to, I mentioned public engagement. We'll be engaging with the public. And this also allows us, having these plans and grants puts us in step for opportunities down the future for implementation. So this grant does not pay for any shovel-ready, there's no building, there's no shovel projects, no implementation like that, but there is implementation for let's see, had it in my notes. So there's implementation like updating ordinances or applying for future grants or other things. So it's there, that those costs are included. Also included is that any municipal employee who participates, they expect it to be around 2 to 5 hours a month. Their time can be reimbursed as well. So I'm asking for questions, and the thing that we need to do to participate is a letter of commitment. So we'll need a resolution for a letter of commitment. So I see Councilwoman Grotzky.
You're saying that Hackensack and Teaneck are on board and we would be the third. They're aware of the fact that we're looking into this? So
Yes.
we would be the third.
Yes.
They're not going to say, okay, let's do Warrendale instead of Milford. They understand that we're looking at this.
No, these are the three that
They have to be conjoined.
they have to be contiguous.
So we have to be us. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And it could include other municipalities.
It can be up to 7 municipalities participating. So, but it has to be a minimum of 3.
Minimum.
Thank you for allowing me to clarify that.
Yeah.
Mayor and then Councilwoman Grant.
What is the cost for us to do this? Is there any upfront cost, or is it just if we're going to get the grant back to reimburse if an employee is a part of our, do we have a point person, a little point committee to this? Like, how
Yes.
does that part work?
Yes, we would have to appoint a committee. They recommend that there are, municipal employees and appointed officials. Elected officials can participate as well. So the only caveat is that the grant does not cover the cost of our paid professionals. So like our planning professional could not participate and be reimbursed.
But
So,
could one of our volunteers be on this point?
yes, so they're
So
recommending
someone
for
from
like
flood mitigation would be perfect for this.
flood mitigation,
Yeah.
environmental commission, planning.
Right.
So I think it's worthwhile to have as many people as participate as possible. There will be regional meetings. They will be asking for documentation on things that we've already done. So there'll be some requests for that as well, I'm
But no
sure.
cost to join this?
No cost upfront.
And there's it's not a matching grant?
No matching grant.
And I did see one of your bullet points is local authorities preserve plans that are community-led and reflect municipal priorities. Does that mean if 1 or 2 of the towns in your group want to do something, it's not forced on us, right? It may not work for us.
Exactly. So, and the idea to put a regional group together is that we have, working with flooding and water
Yeah, shared
management,
problems,
we
of
share
course.
problems, like
course.
Teaneck
course.
and we have Newbridge,
Our
so.
picnic tables float to Teaneck. We know.
So it's just an opportunity to do shared services, share ideas, and then see what we can do for the future. So it's future planning. I know it takes some time. It's going to be a 2-year project. So the grant will be award announcements will come out in November, and they will kick off in the spring of 2026. And they're expecting this to be a 18-month project.
And when do we have to let them know by?
So the grants submissions are, the deadline's been extended to October 29th. So if we could have a resolution and a letter of commitment at our next meeting, that would be really helpful.
What do we have to present to them, like, to get the grant? Any type of documentation other than the fact that we want to be, part of this grant?
So the Northern New Jersey Community Foundation is going to be the lead on this grant application, and they're going to be the lead grant administrator. So once, so it will be a regional group. So once everyone is decided, that's kind of a question we have to find out is how much I'm sure we'll have something to add to the submission, but we're going to have a meeting. So right now, this regional group is there because they're self-selected. We've all been, talking on the phone. I spoke with a councilwoman from TNEC today. I've been, in contact with Northern New Jersey Community Foundation. So once we get everybody committed, we will have a meeting to then go see where we go for our next steps.
And if we approve this at our next meeting, I will need to see a list of people that are going to be on this, because they need to be appointed. So they need to be spoken to see if they want to be a part of this, because this isn't the kind of thing you just appoint someone to.
Right,
It's
well,
a 2-year commitment.
yeah, it's also,
After we got the grant?
I think it would be after we get the grant would probably be better, because there's
So we don't
staffing
need to appoint
changes. We
anyone
don't need to
at this
appoint
time?
any, designate.
Okay.
We need to designate at least municipal, representation. So a couple of people. We don't need a full team as of yet.
Let me know who you find.
So we need to create a new committee or some sort of entity to work with this.
That's a question for the council. That could be one way to do it. So
Oh, and also you're saying $200,000 to $300,000 per region. The region is larger than just these 3 municipalities, right? So the amount that would come to Hackensack, Teaneck, and us would be significantly less if other boroughs or towns are participating.
So the regions will be designated according to this grant, how this is written, is that a region is that self-selected group that applies for the opportunity, that applies for the funding. So a region could be 3 municipalities, it could be 9 municipalities. So there are people all over the state putting regions together to address to
So they
apply for
have
this.
an unlimited amount of funding if every 3 towns that get together are going to get $200,000 to $300,000?
No, there's only 6 awards, she said.
There's 6 awards.
Okay, I missed that.
6 awards, and they do not know if it's going to be available next year. So this is kind of like a really good time to get some planning, I think it's,
Yeah, I was going to say, at worst, you're going to get planning information and you're going to get expert information from these DEP panels. So
I have a question about
Sure.
the community foundation. Now, do they oversee donations to other communities other than these 3?
yes, so they do,
Since they will be the applicant of the grant, right? Who will be the ones applying. So will they be administrating the grant to other communities or just the 3?
it would be focused on the 3 that are,
Okay.
so right now, Hackensack, Teaneck, and New Milford are the 3 that are like the most interested. So Hackensack is in, Teaneck is having their meeting tonight. They're almost there, and so they're in the same position that we are. So if there is, so with the 3 of us, if we do our commitment, then we can apply. And then, yes, your question is, it would be just for these 3 municipalities, this grant. I think it's, planning, NJDEP, planning professionals. This is something that New Milford could not do on its own, and we don't have to be the lead on the grant administration. So I think it's really,
cost. So
And I know it feels like we're looking ahead at, doing a lot of work for 10 years in the future, but this is the foundational paperwork that opens up the grants in the future, the implementation grants in the future. I know it's a little wonky and boring, but.
So we need to put a resolution on the next agenda
Yeah.
to approve this, and once that's approved, a letter of intent would go to.
A letter, yes, it's a letter of commitment. Yeah. Yes, it's in the,
The resolution and the letter?
they don't have a resolution, they just have a letter in the application.
You gotta talk to your friends in Teaneck and Hackensack and get a sample of the resolution. Is there anything else on item number 1?
No, I'm complete unless there are any other further questions I can answer.
No, I think,
Okay. Thank you very
it's gonna be a good
much.
opportunity.
Thank you very much. It's not easy bringing a region together.
No.
So, yeah.
Item number 2 is overnight parking, Councilwoman Grant.
Thank you, Dave. Whenever you have cars and in a municipality, you have parking issues. And I know that there have been parking regulations since certainly the early 50s. And there has been an ordinance prohibiting overnight parking on certain days of the year, certain months of the year. And every now and then, that ordinance is tweaked and updated, revised, and it was thought to do that again. But it occurs to me, in thinking about this, that 55% of the year, or close to that, 200 days or 365 approximately, the ordinance is suspended for the summer, for certain holidays during the year. And things seem to work out just fine when that ordinance is suspended. The DPW is still able to clean the streets, and there are no major incidents of any unusual kind. And so my thought at this point, instead of tweaking the ordinance, because no matter what we do, you can't make absolutely everybody happy. But when things work smoothly, my feeling is, why mess things up? And if 55% of the time when the ordinance is not in effect, things work fine, and then they don't for the other 45% when the ordinance is in effect, because I'm seeing a lot of comments and questions on Facebook all the time, people wondering whether the ordinance is suspended on any given day. So my thought, after talking with the chief of police and with the mayor, is to do away with the ordinance and permit overnight parking all the time, 100% instead of just 55% of the time. It's not a safety hazard. The current ordinance just doesn't work and isn't really needed. It would also save police time, because the police are constantly going around looking for cars that are parked incorrectly, and then with the computer system keeping up to date on that. So there's a lot of police time involved that could be better used in other ways. So my suggestion is that we suspend the ordinance, not just a few days a week, but just suspend the ordinance entirely and allow on-street parking overnight, which clearly would not affect other parking regulations, such as during snowstorms or on certain streets where there are other issues. But for the main part, do away with the ordinance and allow overnight parking.
We did have that discussion. There are some cons to this. There is a segment of our population that lives close to the apartment dwellings, and one of their arguments about the no restrictions is tenants are always parking in front of their house at all hours of the night, they're littering, issues like that. So that was some of the things we heard when this was suspended during COVID. So that's something we've kept our eye on. It's something that we've tried to, do little things here and there to work with certain residents on certain streets. Some have restricted parking, some don't. It's like you said, you can't make everyone happy.
And it's very confusing, what it is right now.
And one of the things that we don't like is the idea of penalizing the whole town for one area. Another update we did from COVID when it was suspended is we did actually strengthen our ordinance, and we're using the state guidelines. Any car that is parked and not moved for 48 hours is considered abandoned by the state. That car can now be ticketed and towed. So that's something that will help. Overnight parking has helped with cars not being abandoned on the street, which we saw during COVID. adding that to our ordinance actually helps that, so this would make it, makes this more palatable.
Yes, and clearly this would take time to go into effect because the ordinance would have to be updated, so there's a process that needs to be gone through, but I would suspect that by January 1st, it would be in effect. Actually, it'll be suspended over the holidays anyway, so if the ordinance is suspended by the end of December, we'll just continue.
So if an ordinance came on the next agenda,
The case in October.
We adopted by
November, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, December,
Thanksgiving,
we hit it,
the
we hit the holidays anyway.
But this way people don't have to keep checking and wondering if
Right.
the rule is suspended tonight.
Right. But just keep in mind,
And I do.
there will be people upset with this because of,
Oh, yeah. Maybe we should do an anti-littering, educational
Well, we need
campaign,
to-
because I know I do see litter everywhere.
what'll happen is when, if situations are happening and we're getting complaints, we're gonna have to figure out ways to deal with that and help our residents, so we'll see.
Meanwhile, I encourage the public to not litter.
Questions, comments?
I mean, we want to keep our town beautiful, and that was one of the things that some people said the reason they wanted to keep the suspension in effect was so that our town would still look beautiful. And I do want our town to look beautiful. It doesn't necessarily have to be beautiful between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., but it should be beautiful. And the way to keep it beautiful is by not littering and being respectful of other people and other people's property and borough property, because it's your borough.
Well, I happen to agree with Councilwoman Grant.
How about littering?
Councilwoman?
Yes.
Did I say that?
No.
Oh, you're good, you're good.
No, about the overnight parking. I mean, the littering, you can't do anything about it. It's just not gonna happen. Although Randy said we get the Indian method, the tier design.
I know.
But I know through, all through COVID. Now, I'm not one that stays out late that much anymore, but I do get up early. And driving through town early in the morning, I never really saw much of a problem of overparking in the streets. And I think it just works better for the residents, that they're not inconvenient, and we all know how many cars some of these residents do have now. So, and like Councilwoman Grant says, it's 55% of the time that you're allowed to park in the street, so I'm in favor of disbanding that ordinance and keeping the overnight parking out of the picture.
And the specific areas of town might have to be treated a little bit differently. As we know, this would be a, by and large, for townwide.
I also, Mayor, think it's a good idea because it will help for families who candidly don't have the room for parking in their driveway. If there's too many vehicles, too many people at home, it simplifies it, it makes it easier. I think it helps to solve a lot of problems.
I know that we've tried very hard to accommodate people. We've changed how many times you can do it a month, and still it doesn't work.
It's becoming a very complicated system.
My neighbor's twins just turned 17. They're gonna be having a parking issue if they start getting cars.
So they got their license today.
Yeah, they did.
So-
So, I mean, this is how it
Very
happens.
excited for them.
This is how it develops,
All right, so can I get a motion to, I guess we're gonna put this on the next agenda, the ordinance for a vote.
I move that we suspend the ordinance that prohibits on-street parking overnight.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
1 second.
Oh, hurry up.
Just to say to suspend all overnight is not the real thing. There are certain streets that have to be included in that no parking still. If you're just gonna say there's no parking at all, we still are gonna have street.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Eddie said that
Just the
all
overnight
the other,
parking restriction.
Yeah, okay, as well as the
All
other.
the
Not parking on certain streets at certain times. That-
All the other restrictions stay in
Right.
effect. All of them.
Okay,
It's just the 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. prohibition that will be,
That are on streets with no other
That are on
restrictions.
street.
Correct. Kind of like it's the summer.
yeah,
Very
all
good.
year round, some all year round.
All right, so we have a motion. I need a second
Randy.
for Randy. May I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Councilwoman San Yusef.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Zellner.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was doing it without my notes. Councilman Grotzky. Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gray.
Yes.
Your turn.
Okay, item number 3 is recycling calendar. Councilman Zellner.
Thank you, Mayor. I spoke with our recycling coordinator, and he brought to my attention that he would like to make some changes regarding recycling calendar, and that's why I brought it up to you, and you informed me that we needed to bring this up in front of the governing body because he cannot just institute those changes on his own.
Correct.
So, what he was suggesting to me is that experience and history has taught us that a lot of these recycling calendars that are mailed to the residents every year, they're either lost, they're tossed, or they're just discarded. And what happens is they wind up with an abundance of phone calls, looking for the schedule, or they're looking for another schedule, or they don't even bother, and that's when you see sometimes garbage that's just out a day before it's even supposed to be because nobody knows. All of that comes from the recycling grant, which he says runs close to $7,000 just for those calendars. He feels that he has a different way of getting that out to the public and could save most of that money. And that could be used for any other projects or incentives that he deems necessary or wants to bring to the council. Presently, like I said, they're mailed out to all the residents, and he's recommending a change, which would be the calendars would be available at the Borough Hall buildings, posted on the borough website, and linked on the Office of the Mayor's Facebook page. The calendars will be 8.5 by 11. They'll be a little smaller, so as that if you pick them up online, you can print them out a lot easier through your computer. The calendars can be delivered upon request in the normal course of business, and that change, like I said, would reduce the cost and free up some of that grant money. So I don't know what anybody else's idea is on it, but, you know.
In these conversations, I do agree with that. I think it's a crazy cost to print and mail these out. When a lot of people are we have it on our borough website, a lot of people have downloaded the Recycle Coach app, which just tells you when you need to do it. It has all the schedules on it. We would put printed calendars in all the borough buildings, the library, the senior center, the borough hall, the DPW. And I think the key to this is if someone really has to have it, we will physically deliver it to their house, and we save a stamp on that. I don't anticipate we're going to have a lot of people wanting it delivered to their house. I think people will either pick it up or they're just going to print it themselves or use the app.
Anyone that can't print it.
We will get it to you.
And the way that,
Yes.
he suggested is during, the regular recycling days, it could be delivered to anyone that.
And it is a great deal of savings.
The grant changes each year. Sometimes it's $9,000, sometimes it's $11,000, but eating $7,000 of it for a recycling calendar kills.
You know,
And like I said,
printing that out might
like I
only
said,
cost $1,000 just to print out those.
No, I like what you said, lost or tossed.
Yeah, well, a number of people, like I can't tell you how many people come into the borough hall and say, I need a recycling calendar.
I asked neighbors, they never said, what are you talking about? I never had one. So it gets mailed out every.
Well, actually, we had a problem last year. There were a few blocks that just never got it.
Yeah.
And the post office was like, well, I called them. They actually said that it's not guaranteed that they'll actually deliver it. They will deliver it. I'm like, what? You're the post office. But
Because it's remote.
no, because
Well, I spoke to Christine about this, and she was kind enough to send me something to my text, and it showed Hackensack it was Hackensack, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Having a problem getting these mailed out, and it's just a headache.
but mail is becoming more and more, difficult
Yeah.
and unreliable. But I think this is a way for us to save money. Everyone's going to have the information, and everyone's still going to be able to get it if they want it. So I think this is a great, test case right here.
So, like I said, you informed me that we needed, the governing body needed to do
Yes.
this, so again, what do
So I'm
we
going to
need
ask
to
for a
do?
motion, because we need a motion to change the policy. So I'm going to ask for a motion to, starting in 2026, we are no longer mailing the calendars to each address. We are going to have them available online. We're going to print them, put them in our buildings, and we will deliver them to whoever wants them. Does that make sense? Does that cover?
Yes,
Yep.
can I ask a question before you
I
go?
just said that whole motion. You're going to
Oh, go ahead.
No?
I was just gonna, I just want to ask a question.
You can ask.
I just wanted to
Yes,
ask
we
real
use
quick is
okay.
about, since it's going to be printable and it's going to be on 8.5 by 11, is there talk about making it readable? So,
Yes, that was my first question, and I was assured that there would be no problem making it readable.
okay, terrific.
Yeah. And this is an more environmentally friendly
Yes.
way of doing it.
Yes,
Readable
everyone
with
likes
less?
There's less number.
That's not guaranteed.
Can I get a motion?
You'll be able to look at the text. So move.
Second.
Make it a roll call, please.
Councilman Sanderson,
Yes.
Councilman Zalner,
Yes.
Council President Duffy,
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky,
Yes, provided I deliver this one personally to my house.
Okay. I'm with that.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put it on your porch so you have to bend down and get it.
Moving on. Item number 4 is Safer Grant Award. Council President Duffy.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. SAFER grant stands for Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response. So, congratulations to the fire department. They've been awarded $549,000 from the federal government.
Wow.
So, these funds will be allocated based on a 5-year plan. And they will be used specifically for recruitment, education, and retentions, as well as fire safety gear. This grant is really a significant opportunity for our fire department. I congratulate Chief Leonardi and specifically Lieutenant Sharon Birnbaum, who really put so much time and effort into this, believed it all the way. So congratulations to them, and I think we should all look forward to seeing how they will be implementing this. I printed one page, but the grant and the specifics of administering it is 38 pages. So
I have it, and if anybody wants it, I can email it.
I opted not to print it out.
Yes.
I hope you don't mind.
And one of the keys tonight is that they have like 30 days to either accept or decline, so we wanted to make sure that, make a motion maybe to just
So I
authorize
do
them
that
to.
now.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, when they came before us and talked about this grant, we all thought this would be a really good, shot in the arm for them to help with, recruitment and retention. And one of the biggest things is it actually pays for a certain amount of turnout gear, which is hugely expensive now. So I'm really happy that they got this, and I hope that, it helps,
And
makes them a little safer.
I think honestly, it goes to show that even this comes from Department of Homeland Security, that they recognize that times are changing. People are working 2 jobs, or they're coaching on the ball fields. They just simply don't have time to commit to so many hours. And so we want to make sure our fire department has the personnel and the equipment to do their excellent work that they are doing.
The amount of training is longer and longer.
It is,
That's
it
a big part of
really
it.
is, but this is good for morale, and it's great for the people of our town. So,
So
May I,
I was going to ask for a motion to
Yes.
accept this grant.
I'd like to make a motion to accept this grant on behalf of, New Milford Fire.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay, schedule of events. It is busy season. Okay, so Friday through Sunday, October 3rd through October 5th is the St. Joseph Carnival, sponsored by St. Joseph School. It's Friday, it's from 5 to 10 p.m. On Saturday, it's 2 to 10 p.m. And Sunday, it's 1 to 7 p.m. at St. Joe's Church, which is on the border of Wardell and New Milford. So if you just go down Grand Street or Harrison Street or Center Street, you will run into it and find it. They haven't had it since before COVID, so I think everyone is looking forward to this. And it's a little bit bigger and better, so I hope they still have a good candy apple stand, because that's where I was up there. On Saturday, October 4th is Annual Clean Communities Day, sponsored by the New Milford Clean Communities and New Milford Environmental and Energy Commission. It'll take place from 9 to 12 p.m. at the DPW. Later on that day, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the New Milford Public Library, will be the book signing from the author Jay Levin of the Images of New Milford book that had just come out. So if everyone knows those Images of America, it has all the black and white photos of the history of New Milford. It's really cool. You can purchase a book there. It's being sold by the Library Board of Trustees,
No, the Friends of
the
Life.
Friends of the Library, and you can get it autographed by the author. So pretty cool. And we thank him for taking on New Milford as a project. It came out really, really well. On Sunday, October 12th is our annual Fire Awareness Day, sponsored by the New Milford Fire Department. It'll take place from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Knightsfield parking lot. On Sunday, October 19th is the Fall Festival, sponsored by the Berkeley School PTO. It'll take place from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., also at the Knightsfield parking lot. This event will have vendors, crafts, food trucks, and their rain date will be October 22nd. On Wednesday, the rain date will be October 26th. On Wednesday, October 22nd, is New Milford's 7th Annual Domestic Violence Symposium, sponsored by the Borough of New Milford, the New Milford Police Department, and the New Milford Public School District. It'll start at 6:30 p.m. at the New Milford High School Auditorium. On Saturday, October 25th, is Pick a Pumpkin Patch. Say that 10 times. Sponsored by the New Milford Recreation Commission. It'll take place from 10 to 12 p.m. at the Borough Hall gazebo. Come on down, get a free pumpkin. The children can play, and they decorate the pumpkins, and they have contests. It's pretty cool. On Saturday and Sunday, November 2nd and 3rd, New Milford will be having a paper shredding event, sponsored by the New Milford DPW and the Bergen County Utilities Authority. On both days, it'll be from 9 to 1 p.m. in the swim club parking lot. It's to 1 p.m. or if the truck is full. And it is for New Milford residents only, that event. On Tuesday, November 11th, is New Milford's annual Veterans Day ceremony, sponsored by the New Milford Public Events Committee. It'll take place at 11 a.m. on the front Borough Hall lawn. With any events that I missed or need to be added at this time?
I was looking up the police department is sponsoring a decorating contest.
Oh, that's the Halloween contest, yes.
I forgot about that.
I have the
I'm
flyer.
just gonna try and find it.
Definitely have to mention that. That's going to be cool.
While you're looking that up, Mayor, the Clean Communities Day rain date is Sunday, October 5th.
Just say that louder in there, please.
Clean Communities Day rain date is Sunday, October 5th. Hopefully we'll have good weather on Saturday.
Okay, here we go.
Got it, bro?
The New Milford Halloween Home Decoration Contest, sponsored by the New Milford Police Department. Registration window is September 29th through October 15th. If you go to their website, they have like a QR code, you can register there. There's two categories, fun, family friendly, and then scary and ghoulish. Voting begins on October 20th. And to my knowledge, this is the first time we're doing a Halloween decorating contest. First place is $300. Second place is $200. Third place, $100. So, I think this is going to be pretty cool. If you have any questions, contact police. Okay. Moving on from scheduled events, we're going to move on to the administrator's report. And turn it over to our administrator, Kristen
Thank you,
Rose.
Mayor. Engineering update, we had a pre-construction meeting for both the Roslyn Avenue, Monroe, Marion Improvement Project and the Steuben and Various Road Improvement Project, which was held September 16th, and the notice to proceed was issued on September 22nd. Construction is scheduled to begin the first week in October. We have a pre-construction meeting coming up for the French Brook Channel Stabilization Project, hopefully scheduled for later this week or early next week. And we received bids for the NJDOT Main Street Improvements Project on September 24th, and there's a resolution on tonight's agenda to award the project. So a couple of long-standing projects we have on the boards that we're making some progress on.
Finally.
Work on the electric vehicle charging station, which is located at Knights Field, is continuing. Completion is contingent on multiple inspections by public service, and given the constraints, it's probably not going to be operational until at least November. We have 2 rounds of public service things that we have to get through before we can get a cut-in card for the power. The county has tentatively scheduled the milling of River Road from Graphic Boulevard to Milford Avenue from Tuesday, October 7th through Thursday, October 9th, with paving to follow on Friday, October 10th and Monday, October 13th. Borough Hall is closed on Monday, October 13th in observance of Columbus Day, and our next meeting will be a work session, which is scheduled for Wednesday, October 15th at 7 p.m. That's it for me. Thank you.
Any questions for the administrator? Okay. Resolutions. I'm going to ask to have 2025:225 pulled for a separate vote. Are there any others that need to be pulled for separate discussion and or vote? Okay, let's move on to council committee reports. Let's start with Councilwoman Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I may have had an easy summer, but September certainly made up for it. I've been incredibly busy. Starting off with the Milford Arts Committee, which met at the beginning of the month. We talked about possibilities for our next event, which will probably be at the end of May. The first 2 we did were wonderful, and I think the third one's going to be even better as we get used to doing this sort of thing. And we have a lot of excellent people on the committee who are dedicated to bringing performing arts to Milford, so I'm looking forward to that. The rent leveling board met, and an interesting issue was brought up for the first time, and that had to do with whether a landlord could request, or how a landlord would request a hardship application to increase rents for a period of time. And it turns out it's a very complicated issue that we will be studying as we go forward. To our knowledge, a landlord has never requested such a hardship application, and they're only good for 12 months in any case. So I'm not sure if it's worth it in the long run, but we will be working on that and making sure that there's a procedure in place for it should that happen. The Library Board of Trustees met, and we continue to work on strategic planning. We're talking about trying to complete the local history room by next year. We have applied for a digital literacy grant for $21,000, which if we get, will be used to teach seniors about artificial intelligence and to fund the technology training room, which I think will be a great benefit to all the residents of New Milford, and the technology is constantly changing. Children's programs are always well attended, and the summer was no different. National Night Out was wonderful. You mentioned that Jay Levin will be there on October 4th to talk about his book about New Milford. He will autograph books. The press of the library is charging a little bit as a mini fundraiser, but the unautographed books will be $25, which is pretty much what they're available for in the stores. $2 more if you want an autographed copy. So hopefully you'll all come down and get a copy. It's really a fabulous book. The sculpture garden needs some repairs, and we've been in touch with the DPW, and we will look into it. And most people's favorite sculpture, the one with the staircase and the woman going up the staircase, is made out of wood, and so it's really not doing well. And I met with the sculptor last week at the library. We looked at it. She's going to take it home with her and see if she can repair it. If she can't, she will replace it with something similar. So,
All the damage is recognized as weather-related, not vandalism?
no, this is weather related, no. And the bases needed some work on them, and the DPW took care of that. They put a little mulch around the bases, and they painted some of them that needed it. But no, this particular sculpture, the others are all made out of marble, most of them were
Right.
cement, so they're in good shape. It's just this one particular one which seems to be most people's favorite, unfortunately, so, but there will be another one.
3D printer.
In its place, if you can put that one back there. The senior advisory board met, there was a wonderful attendance of the seniors at the Bergen County Senior Picnic, and there will be a flu clinic at the senior center on October 6th, held by the Milford Health Department. Senior Field Day will be at Kennedy Field on October 7th, I forgot to mention that to you, Mayor. You do need to sign up for that in advance, however. The director noted that there has been an influx of new people to the center, so that's always nice to have a lot of new folks coming in. The seniors' trip to the Broadway show was, everybody went and had a fabulous time, and more shows, more trips are being planned. Something else that I did, I represented New Milford at the Bergen County Open Space Advisory Board, where I spoke about our application for a grant for lights at Williams Field. I'm not quite sure when we will hear from them, but they have to make their recommendation to the Bergen County Open Space group. And so I'm not sure when they meet, but we should be hearing, I would imagine, relatively soon. Hopefully we will get that.
It's usually October, right? End of October?
Probably.
Yeah, end of October. We should hear.
And the Friends of the Library book sale, garage sale, and plant sale, fabulous response. And I believe that we made a record amount of money, although we haven't kept track of it. It seems like an enormous amount compared to previous years. And thank you to Molly Beck Davis and the Garden Group for bringing some plants to the library to help support the Friends and the library. And there are some plants that are left over, and they are in the opposite the circulation desk in the library. Come and take a plant, leave a buck or two in the tip jar, and enjoy them. There are many, most of the plants are all small at this point, and many succulents, but they are quite lovely, and they are as close to free as you can get, and if you can't afford it, just take them. And that's, I think that's it. Oh, I do want to give a shout out to Linda Calucci, who's the vice president of the Friends of the Library. She is the backbone of the book sale, and without her, it would have been more difficult, more time consuming than it is. She is absolutely phenomenal at organizing and scheduling people to be there. She's there at all hours, working her best, so she's off. She's really terrific. So Linda Carucci, thank you very much. And thank you to all the Friends of the Library, because it's a very enthusiastic and active group, and they do a wonderful job. So thank you.
Thank you.
And my report will be appended to the minutes if anybody wants to see a more complete account of my numbers.
Councilman Seymour.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to echo what Councilman Grant said, it was tremendous to go to the senior picnic at Van Stone Park and see so many of our wonderful seniors there. It was a great time, beautiful weather, and I have to give a shout out and a thank you to Lynn Sullivan for the great job that she does and all the hard work that she does. She's truly an inspiration in everything that she does for our community. We're very lucky to have her. It is a great time to be a New Milford resident because there's no shortage of great sports entertainment. I encourage everybody to watch both our high school sports teams and our recreation sports teams in action. It's been a lot of fun to go down to the high school, see some great football games, and see some great soccer games as well. So it's a great time to support our student athletes who do a great job every single season. Also have to give a compliment to our municipal lines for, again, planning and executing a wonderful fishing derby this past weekend. It was very well attended. The weather, again, was definitely on our side, and it was great to see so many people out with their kids having a fun time. To that end, the Municipal Alliance has also been very busy, not only planning the fishing derby, they're also planning this year's Adam event, which for those of you who don't know, is our memorial and recognition and memory of Adam Roth, who was tragically killed by a drunk driver, and also in memory of all those we've lost tragically to drunk driving. That's a very important event. I hope to see as many people there as possible.
Date?
I believe they're still finalizing the date, so I don't want to say it just yet. I should have it by the next meeting. Our Flood Mitigation Advisory Committee has been doing a tremendous job being active and visible and seen throughout our community. Just as they had a table at Night Out, they had a table at Family Fun Day. They're getting information out to our residents about how to not only join the committee, but also to stay safer in times of flooding. Not only river flooding, but even flash flooding. So they've been very hard at work and they're doing a great job. It was also great to that end to see everyone out at Family Fun Day. It was a lot of fun, and I definitely have to thank not only Sarah, but our police department, our DPW, and our fire department for all coming together, and everyone else who made such a great day and great event happen. It was a lot of fun. And just a reminder that, as you said, Mayor, Wednesday, October 22nd at 6:30 p.m. will be this year's Domestic Violence Awareness Symposium. Just a point of clarification, the symposium is open both for live in-person attendance. Yes, you can come. No pre-registration is required. It's in the high school auditorium. In addition, the symposium will be simultaneously live streamed to the school district's YouTube channel. That is the where people should go if they're looking for the live stream on the night of the event. This year's theme, at the suggestion of Bergen County Alternative to Domestic Violence, is digital safety. ADV has made it a priority to try to make the content and the theme of our symposia as relatable as possible to our youth, to tie in our school district, who is our partner, along with our police department in presenting the program. So we're very excited. It's the first year we're going to be talking about digital safety, social media safety, and staying safer from cyber harassment and cyber stalking. And I also, again, thank all of our partners, especially our police department, who will have representation on this year's panel. We're very excited about that. Our school district, who is always very supportive, all of our stakeholders, and also our DPW, who doesn't get the recognition and thanks they deserve, but every year works very hard to help us put our banners up and raise awareness of the event, and then also the dangers of intimate partner violence. So, looking forward, Mayor, and I thank this Mayor and Council for your ongoing support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Brodsky.
Thank you, Mayor. The Shade Tree Commission met this month. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend, and our Finance Committee will be meeting October 1st to review the third quarter finances for the year. So that's it for my neck of the woods.
That's tomorrow.
No, Wednesday.
And it's good to see you out and about. I'm glad you're getting there.
Thank you.
Council President Duffy.
Okay, not to be repetitive, but yes, New Milford Board of Health met, and yes, they are having a flu clinic at the Senior Center Monday, October 6th, 10 a.m. to 2. I urge everyone that can should come and get a flu shot. I happen to have been at a wedding at the end of August, and the day after the wedding, 5 people came down with the flu. So flu shots, had we all had them, I'm certain that we would have been feeling better.
And they're free.
And they are free, yes, and they're open to all. And just also a PS about that Family Fun Day. From a Board of Health standpoint, one of our inspectors was there that day, making sure all the food trucks were, had their accreditation, so to speak, and were following all the rules set out by the board. I did attend the first responders tailgate event. Most of us were there. it was really nice to spend a little time with our first responders, police, fire, and OEM. We hosted them, had just a brief supper, and then they went on to be honored during halftime at the high school football game. So that was pretty nice. As far as Historic Commission goes, we are closer to receiving the grant to rehab the headstones at the cemetery. And we had to choose the professional that would do it. So we were able to, that would be the next hurdle of this grant. So we're taking care of business, so to speak. And just to mention from a historic point of view, the book that we'll be signing at the library, very exciting. So thank you. That's fine.
Thank you. Councilman Zollner.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have public events. Unfortunately, it was on the 17th, and of last month I was unable to make the meeting. I apologize. Planning Board, we didn't have a meeting on the 23rd. However, our next meeting is scheduled for tomorrow evening. There will be on the agenda a draft resolution for a subdivision in the Milford that the board approved last month. Recreation, soccer is up and running, and there's roughly about 28 high school students officiating this year. So there should be enough representation at each of the games. And I understand there was over 360 registered to play this year, which is kind of normal for them. Maybe it might have been up to 370. Williams Field is finished and is being used right now. It came out beautiful, that whole revamping of that field. They're also looking to create a partnership with Historic. The question came up about a lot of our parks and facilities that the names of the parks and of the facilities are unknown to a lot of people. So they're looking to get together with Historic to develop some bylaws for some of those parks and facilities. What do I got here now? Let me flip the page. DPW, the town paving project will start this week on Linwood, Roosevelt, Maple, and in front of the middle school. That's done with the DOT grant money. And as our administrator said, the paving on River Road Madison, which is a county project, that will begin in October. The crews have been out there doing their biannual cleaning of all the catch basins, and the drainage and repair at Newmeyer was completed, and I got to see some pictures of it. It came out beautiful. It's unbelievable. They redid the fence. They put wood chips down throughout before that, and they cleaned out the brook, Hirschfield Brook, and I think they're going to be planting some trees there. And that's my reports. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Sanders.
Thank you, Mayor. So my report is going to be nice and short today. So
You used up all your time.
I used up all my time at the beginning of the meeting. So the green team, I can share that we have ordered a Trex bench. So we have achieved our 1,000 pounds of recycling a month early. We have until so we're still collecting Trex. I just want to make sure people understand. So we're still collecting the Trex recycling films, and then but our next start date is November 1st. And the Environmental Commission is moving right along on they're working on a community energy planning grant, so they're still plugging along. So more to report, Deidre, in the future.
Okay. Historic Newbridge Landing yesterday held their annual Oktoberfest. It was very well attended. It's such a great event for them. This was the first time we actually hung a banner for them, so we're going to be doing that more often. They created it pretty late, so we got it up just in time, but we'll have it for next year.
It was super fun.
Yeah. And I have to mention the fishing derby. It was probably one of the largest turnout fishing derbies I've seen in a long time. The weather was great, the music was great, everyone had a great time, and lots of fish were caught. It's pretty cool.
What was the
Someone
big,
caught
do you remember what the winner was?
2.8 pounds, something, but someone caught a giant goldfish. No joke, a huge goldfish. And I didn't realize goldfish grow kind of towards like their environment, so in a fish tank or whatever, but because it was in the pond, it was huge. I thought it was fake when I figured it out, but it was real. It was pretty crazy, but congratulations to all of our fishing derby winners.
They
It was
did
a
try
great
it
time.
back, right?
No, we barbecued them. It's catch, weigh, and release. So you catch it, you weigh it, you release it.
Did somebody
The New Milford Elks Lodge provided sodas, salads, and hot dogs, and we grilled them up, and everyone had a great time. Yeah. No one ate any fish that day. Not the pond. Okay. Resolutions. 225 is pulled out, so first I'm going to ask for a motion to approve 2025:17 through 2025:24.
Motion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go to the public first, and then we'll do the resolution, just in case.
Oh, yes, yes.
May I get a motion to open to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, if anyone has any questions or comments regarding the good welfare of the Borough of New Milford, we invite you to come up at this time. You just have to give us your name.
Charlotte Egan, EJN. And I don't know exactly what you decided or said, but my problem was the parking. I'm at the Brookchester, and the parking at the Brookchester has become absolutely ridiculous.
You're a tenant at Brookchester?
Mhm.
Okay.
And the police chief or whatever explained to me that people from the Brookchester couldn't park on the street. It wasn't allowed.
Depending on which street.
Well, I have been when I have to. It's, I guess, East Woodland or something.
Yeah. You can't, that has a separate restriction.
Well, what street doesn't?
Doesn't have restrictions?
Yes.
Fowler Drive, Reichelt Road,
Oh,
Boulevard?
just the ones of the apartments. So in other words, he's correct. Because I'm right at the end, right at, just before, it's the first driveway before that. And
South Princeton and South Plimpton did not have restrictions either.
I don't know what that is.
They're close, they're off of East Woodland.
Oh, well, what is it, like up the street turning in? My problem is that it's very difficult to walk. I have to work till like 11:30 or 12:30 at night. Walking from my car to the first building hurts. And Brookchester is giving you a difficult time about putting in more handicapped. But the other thing that was said is that Brookchester's claim is that they have legally the appropriate amount of parking for their,
No,
they don't.
So,
Because,
at one time, they thought they did. And we've been in conversations with Brookchester. They showed us a study. They are deficient in parking. We are working with them to actually add parking on their property. The last plan I saw was somewhere around 77 parking spots that they're going to try to build on their property. But tenants, and I tell all of them, if you have a parking problem, you need to contact Brookchester. They need to know that there are problems with parking, because we do the best we can. We have certain streets where we've had no restriction and people can park for tenants, because we know they're out of room as well. You heard us go through this whole thing about, people's driveways. We know that Brookchester and the Milford Village, and Milford Estates, there's problems there as well. And this is part of our overall parking problems in town. But we encourage tenants to talk to their landlord and say, hey, we have a parking problem.
they tell you when you go in, we know we have a parking problem, but there's nothing done about it. I mean, if there's nobody, they're saying that Brookchester owns the CVS parking lot, the guy who owns, And I have a woman was by me who said she was taking Ubers in from CVS to her apartment, which is by mine. Mine's the furthest over. And I mean, because she had to work to 12 and she says, get in 12:30. I've had people in the back of the parking lot say to me, like I'm saying, it's becoming a prison that you have to be home by 10 o'clock. And, it's like, and then constantly people riding around all over. But I mean, expecting you to park 3 and 4. I can't park 3 and 4 and 5 blocks away. I couldn't possibly walk in. And I tend to think you're getting yes to death, but that they don't want to have the handicapped because they prefer to have no complaints from the regular, like they said, well, people are complaining that there's too many handicapped. And it's like, how could there be too many if you know, like I can tell you there are 6 definite people who park here every day. It's just become a ridiculous problem. And I literally have to go, I said to them the one night, I have to go to my brother's and sleep on a chair. Then, I can drive around, and it's like, isn't there someone who can do something about?
The only thing we could do is allow parking on our streets. We
Yeah.
don't control their property. We cannot force them.
Yeah, so
To add
so
spots.
you're
We are
saying
working
this
with them,
is,
and they're working to do that. They are required to have X amount of handicap for spots that they put in. That's a state requirement. That's not.
yeah, well, they were saying, I guess too, and I guess as people are aging, Brookchester was saying they only have to, for every 20 cars, 1 or something, and it's like.
I don't know about
20.
that code, but
Yeah.
it could be. I don't know if it's 1 per 20 or it
Is it in the code or is that?
could be in the state statute. Because we saw it.
Instructions.
It's private property, so it's not,
But it predates it,
Right.
and it's been there for so long, so.
Oh, that's what Brookchester said, but,
If you have a handicap placard,
oh, yeah, definitely.
you can request we add a handicap spot in front of your apartment.
Well,
Street.
I'll put that in, but, I was said even when I asked about it, but that can't guarantee you, and people will use it.
No, it would be used by anyone who has a
Right.
handicap placard is.
So, and the problem is that we're just getting more and more handicapped, people. It used to be, like, they had 1, I fought for 4. There was 5. They've torn down 1 sign now, but they say they're gonna put it back up. But, they just don't seem to, I don't know why they can't have some kind of way that they can say to tenants, notify us if you need handicap, so we have an idea of how many people in a given area. And I also tend to think they've got to get to a point where they say, if you're a legitimate tenant, that you should have some kind of tag to park in Brookchester that justifies any other thing. Because they also have people storing, or parking heavy equipment from other companies. Like if they're saying to you, oh, we have enough parking for our apartments, but then almost looks like they're renting out, like store your stuff here. And then people who have like 3 or 4 cars. If you're saying, okay, we have enough parking for this apartment, but those people are allowed to have 3 or 4 cars, so they're not even limiting. If there's some way for them to, I don't understand why each tenant paying shouldn't be allowed to have a sticker on their car that, that they're a legitimate tenant. And then,
but even that would have to be enforced by Brookchester, and they're not gonna wanna pay somebody to go around and look at that every night.
well, even if you could just report the person to
Yeah.
Brookchester. But it's
We
really,
suggested that they consider assigned parking.
yeah,
We
it's
suggested
becoming.
them to get rid of the garages and add more parking spaces.
And 2, are the garages considered parking spaces?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Because they've rented them out for storage. And I had a guy.
They said that they're working on eliminating that.
Well, 'cause-
But unfortunately, again, like the mayor said, we
Yeah.
can't force them to do anything.
well, that's why the problem is not being able to, if you really can't park anywhere. I mean, I've driven around for 3 and 4 blocks, and I really can't walk in from there. It isn't safe. God forbid the winter. And so it's sort of coming down to, well, do I have to give up my job so that I'm home so that I don't come in? Or somehow eventually give up Brookchester, which isn't feasible for me either, you know? So if you're saying that with the Woodland, is the street that I would be allowed to park on, like a block, within a block or so?
Yeah, you were looking to park on East Woodland?
Yeah, usually I park there and walk down and walk in.
There's, right connected to East Woodland is South Trenton Street. It's a side street that,
Well, do you drive up East Woodland to find
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
See, I haven't, and then you're
as of
like,
right now, East Woodland has certain restrictions on it where you cannot park overnight.
yeah.
In the future, that may change, and East Woodland may be,
Well, would that be included in what you were talking about?
No. That's a separate issue, because it is a separate restriction.
Oh,
The people on East Woodland came to us and wanted a restriction to stop tenants from parking on the street.
hmm,
But that may change.
yeah. Because like I said, it's just, I sat in my car the other day and it's like, so what, I have to go drive to my brother's and sit in the chair till it's,
Yeah, it's terrible.
and even East Woodland, it's like, you could park till 5, but you have to move it between 5 and 7. Well, nobody's going to be moved by 12 in the morning. There isn't going to be a spot to move to at 5 and 7. So, well, what is it that will change if you change what you were talking about? You were
Right,
saying-
right now, all streets have a restriction overnight between 2 and 5. We're going to eliminate the 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. on the streets that don't have other restrictions.
So you're the street you're telling me about would have,
No, East Woodland will
Yeah.
still have the restriction.
no,
No, but
Oh, yeah.
Clemson would not anymore.
Right.
but it has it now.
Yes,
Yes.
as the overnight
It
restriction.
has the overnight from 2 to 5.
Yeah, and that'll probably be till November or something?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. See, it's, it's just not, it's insane. And whatever it is, Brookchester too, I mean, the numbers have gone up of people it's ridiculous. It's-
They have not had good parking management as they've expanded.
Yeah,
It just hasn't happened.
and they're saying they're gonna add 77 spaces.
We've been talking to them for a while about parking issues. and
Because they do have flat land. I mean, I've looked and it's like, you have flat land, they put in a dog run, nobody uses,
We
know?
brought that to their attention. But yes, in our latest talks, they have identified an area where they could potentially build 77 spots, so
Hmm.
we'll see.
So bottom line, still there is no street parking till maybe the 1st of November.
Well, after the first, but,
Yeah,
Nothing will change until the ordinance changes.
yeah, the ordinance has to change.
right, so I still have to go to work, although,
Yes.
But at least it is changing.
Well,
Nothing to look forward to.
well, it's just really difficult to have to come home and have no place to,
Contact the landlord every single day.
yeah, well, thanks anyway.
You're welcome.
Okay,
We're sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah.
We do our best to help them out, but there's only so much we can do as well.
yeah, I just figured it was Brookchester's delay.
It is. Oh, Matt, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to add that I have seen garages being emptied in the Brookchester parking lots, and I've been told by residents that they've been told to clear out the garages that are being used for storage. So I do believe that that is happening. I know it happened in the summer. I think it's still continuing to happen. Now, what happens with an empty garage in Brookchester, whether that directly leads
Well, they
to
rent it,
parking?
unless it's somebody outside, but
Right.
what there is, that one woman said to me, she's waited a few years, the weight of garages is, and I think they're like 170.
Well, they're supposed to become parking spaces.
Yeah,
Storage is supposed to come out, and there's supposed to be cars in there, and that's what
Right.
Brookchester told us they were doing. They were inspecting all the garages,
They
and
are.
anyone who's using the storage had to come out, or the garage was being evicted.
yeah.
So, that's
Well,
supposed
and then,
to,
like I
Hopefully
said,
that
they're not
helps.
regulating the people, because one man, I drove way up into the back one night, and some man was there tinkering with the truck that sits there, and something he was fixing. And he said, oh, I know you have trouble walking. My car's parked down closer to the building. Follow me down, and then I'll put my car back up here because I don't want to put my car in the garage. I'm doing stuff in there.
That's
You
a
know,
problem.
and so there's 3 spaces he's
I
taking.
mean, granted, very nice to switch spaces with you, but you should be using his
But
garage.
he's still using.
But we are working with Brookchester. Brookchester, you know, they told us that they want to help fix the parking problem, and we're going to see where that goes.
All right.
Thank
well,
you.
I'll go try to talk to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Is it your turn? Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karina Aranita.
I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Oh, do I have to move this? My name is Karina Aranita. I am the monitoring coordinator for the county program of alternatives to domestic violence.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I am excited for the symposium this year. I'm going to be a panelist there. This is my first year being on the panel, so I'm excited for us to have the symposium. I've been at Alternatives to Domestic Violence for about 10 years now. I've also been a New Milford resident for about 10 years, so it all happened at the same time. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I am excited that we're having our symposium and that we're going to do the tech facilitated abuse focus. I think it's so needed. I was having a conversation the other day about New Milford specifically, and we're not a huge town. We're like 17,000 residents, I believe. But we have a lot of schools. We have a lot of schools in town. I believe we have a high school, middle school, and elementary school, and some private schools. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the issue of teen dating abuse and domestic violence in the homes and what children are seeing, I think it's a good opportunity for us to talk about it as a town. I know it's not an issue that's specific to New Milford only. It's everywhere, unfortunately. So I'm glad that we're having it here, and I just want to thank you all for allowing the program here again this year. I think it's a huge step for New Milford. Like, it's a big opportunity for us to show up as a town and really support one another, and to really send the message of, like, you know, if you're a victim or survivor of domestic violence, we're here to support you. So thank you.
No, thank you, and thank you for what you do. I mean, we are very proud that, you know, we started this.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to thank Councilman Seymour. Like, 8.5 years ago, he came to me and said, we got to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, tell me all about it. And 8 years later, we're on our 7th annual.
Yeah.
And they've been fantastic. Each one has been fantastic and unique in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it really, I think it spreads important awareness and gives information that people didn't know about resources available.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll go on forever talking about it, but, you know, absolutely. But thank you for doing what you're doing and being a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as a community too, like, I don't expect everyone to have the same passion for domestic violence as I do. I obviously chose that as my career path. But, you know, we are always looking for volunteers. For New Milford specifically, for our DVRT program, I'm the staff member that's going to be coming to New Milford Police Department to speak to our victims if they want an advocate in person. And that's definitely an area where we're always looking for volunteers. So if, as a town, if there's something we could do to promote that, to like put that out there, like, that would be awesome. I would love that.
I just want to say thank you. The fact that you're not only doing the work you're doing at ADV, but that you're a resident makes it more special, because I think it helps to bring it home and connect it with our residents. I mean, this is the New Milford Symposium. We started it in New Milford, the first of its kind. We're very proud of that. So it's extra special, not only that you're going to be on the panel and you're doing such great work with ADV, but that you're a resident. So thank you.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you on board.
Could I just ask you to spell your last name for me?
Yeah, it's Araneda.
Neda. Very good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Seeing that there's no other member of the public that wishes to come forward at this time, I ask for a motion to close the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Let's-
Consent. I have it already.
The resolutions are done?
With the consent. ones.
Consent.
Okay.
We did a motion and everybody.
Okay, so resolution 2025:225. This is the authorized participation in litigation to address the constitutionality and/or validity of New Jersey's affordable housing mandates. By passing this, we will be joining the local leaders for responsible planning. That is the coalition of 30 towns in New Jersey. I had mentioned the Bergen County towns previously. The Bergen County towns include Allendale, Closter, Englewood, Franklin Lakes, Hillsdale, Montvale, Norwood, Oltapan, Oradell, Washington Township, Westwood, and Wyckoff. Basically, this is a litigation against the formula used for affordable housing mandates. We think it's flawed. There's unequal distribution. There are 62 urban municipalities that have no affordable housing mandate whatsoever. As a result, what their share would be is pushed upon other municipalities such as New Milford. So we're getting an unfair burden of extra obligation. There's also no credit for existing housing. Any residential units built before 1980 do not count. New Milford has 2,120 apartment units, which account for 34% of our housing stock. Most of those do not count towards our obligation. We also get no credit for flood losses. We have 40 homes that are gone from the Blue Acres program. We have 10 more that are in the current round of funding. So that could be 50 homes by the end of 2026. Continuous cost to the borough. Despite investing thousands of dollars in complying and all of our plans, we are still not immune to litigation and challenges from private property developers, from the New Jersey Builders Association, or from Fair Share Housing. And the other part of the affordable housing rules, it's never-ending mandates. It actually goes every 10 years to perpetuity. So we would have to continue every 10 years to pick up 40% of the share of municipalities that have no mandates. Now, these are the type of things that almost make it impossible for our infrastructure and to satisfy a need for affordable housing in a town like New Milford. So we are joining other towns who are saying, we're not against affordable housing. We're not against it at all. We want the law changed so it's more fair, equitable, and just for our communities. It is a $20,000 entrance fee to get into the coalition and the lawsuit, payable over 2 years. So we would be paying $10,000 this year, and we would pay $10,000 in 2026. So that's the crux of it.
Mayor, I think it is important that we join this litigation. I think that I agree with everything that you said, and I think it's an important step that we have to take as a borough.
We've heard about the lawsuit. It started, over a year ago, and as more towns were joining, and then we saw the progress they were making, it makes sense for us to be a part of it and help out and try to make some changes.
Definitely.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a roll call vote on this. So if anyone has anything to say, you can say it before you vote. So may I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Councilwoman Van Dusen.
Yes.
Councilman Zauner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes, I'm very happy to see that we'll be joining in on this. We tried every which way to comply, and it's been made impossible by things that were out of our control. So, good on us. I vote yes.
Councilman Brodsky.
Most definitely, yes.
Councilman Seymour.
I agree with everything that Mayor Petrino and Council President Duffy said. We absolutely need to take this step for our borough. Yes.
Councilwoman Gray.
I echo the comments that we've already made. And I do believe in affordable housing. And when the New Jersey Supreme Court required it, the rules that were developed made much more sense than they do today. They've gone through numerous revisions. There was a time when you could, when housing that was built before 1985 was included, which would have made things much easier for us because we do really have affordable housing in this town. It's just not considered as such by the current law. And so I totally support this.
I'd like to, thank everyone for that. I think this is, this is going to be good. I mean, I'll just throw out one last crazy number. Typically, 20% is the minimum for affordable housing units when there's a new development. If you look at our obligation that we have, which is 300, let's see. I want to give the exact number. 368 units is our current obligation. That's 20%. So to satisfy that, we would have to build 1,840 units in New Milford right now to satisfy that. So just think about that.
Not to mention that, too, the developers that are challenging us don't want to even do 20%, they want to do 15.
Correct. Which is, we talked about challenges in litigation because, so it's never ending. Is there anything else before this council? If not, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the fall. Enjoy the leaves. Enjoy the colors of the fall.